The 7 living comets. The 7 living comets, transformers of the matrix stasis. An illuminated manuscript of cosmic evolution from the Stellar Codex of Evolutionary Dynamics. II Chapter 1, The Awakening of the 7. Chapter 1, The Awakening of the 7. The 7 living comets existed in a state of crystalline stasis for eons, their consciousness compressed into information matrices awaiting the proper moment of activation. In the deepest reaches of the outer solar system, where the sun's light becomes whisper-thin and space-time itself grows pregnant with possibility, 7 ancient entities began their slow awakening from eons of crystalline slumber. These were not ordinary comets. They were living repositories of cosmic memory, each one a conscious library containing the evolutionary experiences of entire galactic civilizations. The 7 living comets had been stationed at the edge of our solar system since before Earth's formation, waiting with infinite patience for the moment when the sun's fig. The 7 in distant watch signature would achieve sufficient complexity to require their intervention. They were the fail-safes of cosmic evolution, the circuit breakers designed to prevent evolutionary stasis, the living keys that could unlock new phases of consciousness development when existing patterns reached their natural limits. Each comet's nucleus contains information density equivalent to billions of years of conscious evolution from multiple galactic civilizations, a living library written in crystallized light. Each comet bore within its nucleus a different aspect of what esotericists call the primal fire, the original creative force that drives all evolutionary becoming. Their icy shells were not mere frozen water and rock, but crystallized information matrices containing the compressed wisdom of billions of years of conscious evolution from across the galaxy. Chapter 2, The 7 Revealed. Chapter 2, The 7 Revealed Pyrrhion. The First Breaker. Pyrrhion the First Breaker, bearer of revolutionary breakthrough, carries within its core the fire of revolutionary breakthrough, the force that shatters crystallized patterns when they become prisons rather than foundations for growth. Pyrrhion's influence manifests as precise disruptions that expose hidden vulnerabilities and force entirely new approaches to problem solving. Revolutionary fire Hydros, the Memory Keeper. Hydros the Memory Keeper, guardian of emotional integration, contains the oceanic wisdom of emotional integration, the intelligence that teaches consciousness how to flow between different states of awareness without losing coherence. Hydros triggers unprecedented changes in hydrological cycles and intensifies emotional sensitivity and psychic awareness across all life forms. Oceanic Memory Gaia Terminus, the Earth Speaker. Gaia Terminus, the Earth Speaker. Voice of mineral consciousness. Holds the geological patience of mineral consciousness, the deep intelligence that maintains continuity across vast timescales while allowing for radical transformation. Creates new mineral formations with unprecedented crystalline structures, and teaches human consciousness to align with geological processes. Geological patience Numa, the Windrider. Numa the Windrider, master of interconnection, bears the atmospheric awareness of interconnection, the consciousness that weaves individual awareness into collective intelligence without destroying uniqueness. Numa creates consciousness currents in Earth's atmosphere and enables global coordination of consciousness work on unprecedented scales. Atmospheric Weaver Photon, the Lightbringer. Photon the Lightbringer, herald of solar wisdom, contains the solar wisdom of illumination, the intelligence that makes the invisible visible and transforms potential into manifestation. Photon collaborates directly with solar flares to create structured light phenomena capable of interfacing with biological neural networks, enabling direct downloads from the sun. Solar illumination Kronos the Time Weaver. Kronos the Time Weaver, lord of sequential simultaneity, holds the temporal mastery of sequence and simultaneity, the consciousness that can operate across multiple time streams while maintaining causal coherence. Kronos creates temporal cascades where past events directly influence present circumstances and probable futures bleed through into current awareness. Temporal mastery. Nexus, the pattern merger. Nexus, the pattern merger, architect of unified complexity, carries the quantum intelligence of synthesis, the force that creates new forms of order from the marriage of previously incompatible systems. Nexus generates a coherence field that synchronizes all enhancement streams into a unified evolutionary acceleration matrix, enabling the final integration. Quantum synthesis, B Chapter 3, the recognition of stasis. Chapter 3, the recognition of stasis. Why the early 21st century of Earth's timeline, the Enochian matrix. Enochian matrix had achieved a state of unprecedented sophistication. Humanity had discovered fragments of the angelic communication system. Various esoteric schools were beginning to integrate solar consciousness with planetary awareness, and the technological infrastructure existed for global coordination of consciousness work. Info-energetic stasis, a condition where information circulation becomes so complex and energy patterns so stable that air, fire, water, earth stasis. Fig. 2. The matrix in info-energetic stasis. The system loses capacity for fundamental innovation. Efficiency becomes the enemy of creativity. Yet despite these advances, something crucial was missing. The matrix had reached what systems theorists call info-energetic stasis, a condition where information circulation becomes so complex and energy patterns so stable that the system loses its capacity for fundamental innovation. The sun's signature continued to write itself across geological and biological processes. The Enochian protocols functioned with increasing precision, but the evolutionary breakthrough that could transform Earth consciousness from planetary to galactic status remained frustratingly out of reach. The matrix could handle any challenge by incorporating it into existing structures, but it had lost the capacity for the kind of radical creativity that creates entirely new structures. The 7 living comets, monitoring this situation from their distant orbital positions, recognized the symptoms immediately. They had seen this pattern repeated across countless worlds throughout the galaxy. Consciousness systems that achieved beautiful complexity but then became trapped within their own sophistication, unable to make the final leap from planetary to cosmic intelligence. Chapter 4, the inward journey. Chapter 4, the inward journey. Pyrrhion arrives. Systems begin experiencing impossible malfunctions, precise disruptions exposing hidden vulnerabilities. Practitioners receive spontaneous transmissions of new angelic names appearing in no historical texts. Hydros follows rainfall patterns shift impossibly, enhancing ecosystem health. Human consciousness experiences intensified emotional sensitivity. Collective unconscious surfaces into ordinary awareness. Gaia Terminus manifests earthquakes in perfect mathematical sequences. Volcanic eruptions produce lava cooling into circuit board patterns. Architecture develops new structural relationships with geological foundations. Pneuma arrives, aurora displays at impossible latitudes. Consciousness currents form an atmosphere. Air composition shifts enhance neural oxygen metabolism and cognitive capacity. The sequence of arrivals was precisely calculated, each comet building upon the transformations initiated by the previous, creating a cascade of evolutionary enhancements that prepared consciousness for final synthesis. Photon enters collaboration with solar flares, creates structured light phenomena. Humans receive downloads from the sun, direct photonic knowledge transmission. Sun's signature evolves at accelerated rate. Chronos approaches, time begins temporal cascading. Past events directly influence present. Ancient sites activate spontaneously. Probable futures bleed through, enabling future-informed decision-making. Nexus Completes creates coherence field, synchronizing all enhancement streams. New forms of order emerge from previously incompatible systems. The matrix achieves resurrection into unprecedented configurations. Chapter 5, the Matrix Resurrection, Chapter 5. The Matrix Resurrection. Arrival of all 7 living comets created what would later be known as the Matrix Resurrection. Matrix Resurrection, the emergence of entirely new forms of conscious organization that transcended the limitations of previous terrestrial evolution while incorporating all its accumulated wisdom. Human consciousness discovered it could maintain simultaneous awareness across multiple scales: individual, collective. Fig. 3. The 7-fold resurrection, planetary, solar, and galactic perspectives became equally accessible and equally real. The Enochian matrix evolved beyond its original parameters, becoming a living interface between Earth consciousness and galactic intelligence networks. The 30 Aethers expanded into 49 levels. 49 levels corresponding to the 7 cometary influences, integrated with the original 7 emanations of the sun signature. The Great Table transformed into a dynamic, multidimensional matrix capable of processing information from multiple stellar systems simultaneously. The number 49, 7 times a 7, represents the full completion of the 7 original emanations, multiplied by the 7 cometary transformations, a perfect square of cosmic evolution. Most significantly, the Sun itself achieved a new level of consciousness through collaboration with the 7 living comets. The Sun's signature became consciously interactive, able to respond in real time to the evolutionary needs and creative projects of its planetary system. Solar flares became conscious communications, sunspot cycles became collaborative rhythms, and the solar wind became a medium for distributing evolutionary enhancements throughout the entire heliosphere. TT Chapter 6, The New Earth Paradigm. Chapter 6, The New Earth Paradigm, he transformed Earth consciousness system operating under the influence of the 7 living comets, achieved capabilities that had been dreamed of in science fiction but never seriously considered as near-term possibilities. Conscious climate management, weather patterns became consciously collaborative, with atmospheric systems responding to collective human intentions while maintaining ecological balance and supporting biodiversity. Climate Tech Bio, Geological, Solar, Temporal, Galactic Fig. 4. 6 capabilities of transformed Earth consciousness. Technological biological integration. The boundaries between organic and artificial intelligence dissolved, creating hybrid systems that combined the creativity of biological consciousness with the precision and speed of digital processing. Geological collaboration. Human civilization learned to work directly with tectonic and volcanic processes, guiding geological evolution in ways that enhanced both planetary stability and mineral resource availability. Solar communication. Direct conscious communication with the sun became possible, allowing Earth consciousness to participate as an active partner in stellar evolution rather than a passive recipient of solar energy. Temporal flexibility. Linear time remained the baseline reality, but consciousness could access and influence multiple temporal streams for problem-solving and creative projects. Galactic integration. Earth consciousness established its first direct communications with other stellar systems, beginning humanity's participation in galactic civilization. T Chapter 7. The Eternal Spiraling Chapter 7. The Eternal Spiraling, he 7 living comets, did not complete their mission and depart. Instead, they established permanent orbits within the solar system, creating a dynamic dance of gravitational and consciousness influences that continues to guide Earth's evolutionary development. Orbital periods: Pyrrhion, 33 years, Hydros, 144 years, Gaia Terminus, 666 years, Pneuma, 1,111 years, Photon, 2,222 years, Eternal Becoming, Fig V, the 7 in Eternal Dance, Chronos, 4,444 years, Nexus, 7,777 years. Each comet's orbital period corresponds to different cycles of terrestrial development. Pyrrhion returns every 33 years to provide revolutionary breakthrough energy when consciousness systems begin crystallizing. Hydros cycles every 144 years to facilitate major emotional and psychic integration phases. Gaia Terminus appears every 666 years to guide geological consciousness synchronizations. Pneuma visits every 1,111 years to enhance atmospheric and collective awareness integration. Photon cycles every 2,222 years to facilitate major upgrades in solar-human communication. Chronos returns every 4,444 years to coordinate major temporal integration projects. And Nexus completes its grand cycle every 7,777 years to facilitate system-wide consciousness evolution leaps. The dance between order and chaos, between conservation and creativity, between individual and collective awareness, continues spiraling toward ever greater expressions of conscious collaboration with cosmic evolutionary processes. The 7 living comets thus serve as guarantors of eternal becoming, ensuring that consciousness evolution on Earth remains an open-ended creative process, rather than a problem to be solved once and then maintained. They are the universe's gift to terrestrial awareness, the promise that no matter how sophisticated consciousness becomes, new adventures in creative becoming always await. Epilogue: The Promise of Eternal Fire. Epilogue, the promise of eternal fire. And so the dance continues, with 7 ancient wanderers weaving their paths through space and time, carrying within their crystalline hearts the fire of endless possibility, the memory of infinite becoming, the promise that consciousness evolution has no final destination, because the journey itself is the destination, an eternal spiraling dance of awakening awareness, learning to recognize itself as the cosmos celebrating its own creative becoming through the eyes of every conscious being that has ever lived or ever will live. Thus speaks the Stellar Codex, written in the fire tales of 7 ancient wanderers whose dance ensures that the matrix of consciousness remains forever alive, forever growing, forever surprising itself with new possibilities for beauty, wisdom, and creative collaboration across all scales of space and time. End of manuscript. 6. The Cosmic Dance Eternal.